There are sports cars, there are supercars, there are hypercars. And then there are sports cars, supercars, hypercars from Ferrari. Now, why do I say this? Ferrari is not just an automotive company. Ferrari is not just any car maker. Ferrari is an emotion.
You are watching a sensational drive.
They give me a car and the car works perfect.
Dominant victory for Ferrari.
And we are here today to experience that emotion to the fullest at the most exciting and extreme event of Ferrari. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ferrari's Corse Clienti, XX Program and F1 Clienti. Only here on KERS India, just for you. When Enzo Ferrari started Scuderia Ferrari, his goal was always to be a racing team, and Ferrari has always lived up to that goal. This XX program is a direct outcome of that vision, and it continues to this day. The XX program and F1 Clienti is the closest Ferrari's clients get to professional racing. And let me tell, from what little I have understood over the last 2 days, this is quite extreme. Yes, other car companies have their client racing programs, but this is something else. This is in a totally different league. Today we are here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia in Spain. And let me tell you how privileged and humbled we at KERS India feel to be part of this amazing Ferrari track day. On behalf of the entire team at KERS India, I say a massive thank you to a few good humans who have entered our lives and made this possible. The owner of this FXX-K Evo, she is an ardent supporter of women in motorsports. And this is her way of supporting us by sharing this experience with us today. And the other thing is, a very special thing actually, and a very proud moment for me as well, is that this is the only FXX-K Evo to wear the Indian flag. We also wish to thank the amazing folks at Ferrari for approving our presence here and for making it possible and giving us the incredible opportunity to talk about their Corse Clienti program. Thank you, Ferrari. And holding this media badge of Ferrari feels definitely very special. So here are the 3 things you can expect in this special episode. 1. What is the Corse Clienti program? 2. The FXX-K Evo car? And 3. The track experience. Even amongst exclusive clubs, this one may well be the hardest to join. There's the small matter of cost and the bigger matter of whether Ferrari will accept you. First, you need a track car eligible for this program. That can either be an XX car or a retired F1 car. These cars cost a lot of money. Consider the current generation XX car, the FXX-K Evo. Even if you could find one for sale, say at an auction, then based on recent trends, it would cost you upwards of rupees 45 crore. That's before factoring in duties and taxes. Then each event has its own cost, which can often be the equivalent of buying a German luxury sedan. And since this is motorsports, if you have an incident or a mechanical issue, then sky's the limit for what costs can run. But simply having the means to fund this hobby isn't sufficient. Ferrari must bless you to be accepted into the program, and boy, are they selective. Once you're in though, Ferrari treats you like family, and you can drive these mega performance cars on the best tracks on the planet, like this one on the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia in Spain. And once you have the car and you're in the program, you still need the courage and the ability to drive a car this powerful on a racetrack. Speeds can go well above 300 kilometers per hour, and it's both incredibly exciting and downright scary at the same time. Ferrari runs the program with extreme focus on safety. The crew is world class. Most of them have professional Formula One experience. These engineers and mechanics are the best in the business. Their attention to detail is obvious. You can see how they take care of the cars every time they come back to the pits. Their work ethic and passion is of the highest level possible. This is no less than any F1 team. There is also an entire team dedicated to only telemetry data. Each and every lap of every car is tracked, recorded and analyzed for what could be done to better the overall track experience. As I said earlier, the activity at the Corse Clienti program seems as focused as Ferrari's F1 team. Now, even after one buys these cars, they don't actually take it home. But that's by choice. Allow us to bust this myth for you. It is not true that you are not allowed to take the cars home. That's the owner's decision and Ferrari doesn't interfere. However, most cars are kept and maintained at Ferrari's factory in Italy, and that is for a good reason. These cars are not road legal, and hence Ferrari themselves bring these cars to the immaculately put together Corse Clienti track days, where the owners pilot these cars around the best tracks of the world, along with the Enzo based FXX 599 based 599 XX cars and F1 cars.
These are the former F1 cars on this track, and these are from an era which really sound amazing and the best. So this is the FXX-K Evo. It's based on the LaFerrari, and the hybrid powertrain combines 6.3 liter naturally aspirated V12 with an instantaneous electric motor. And since it doesn't have any homologation requirements, it brings together 1050 horsepower and 900 Newton meters of torque. Come here. So you can see that is the electric one, and you have 850 horsepower right there. Together with this, it's 200, so it makes it 1050 horsepower.
Power reaches the rear wheels by way of a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Built using the lightest of alloys and mostly carbon fiber, the estimated weight of the FXX-K Evo is 1100 kilograms, which means the power-to-weight ratio is almost 1:1. The car has both active and passive aerodynamic elements, like a tail fin with finlets, a massive fixed wing, and a movable wing that also acts as an air brake. The rear bumper aids airflow underneath the rear diffuser, while vortex generators have been introduced on the under tray to provide 30% extra downforce overall compared to the FXX-K. All these components work together with the sophisticated electronics to generate 650 kilograms of downforce at 200 kilometers per hour. As it is, the car has immense grip thanks to the mega wide slick tires, 345 millimeters at the rear and 285 millimeters at the front.
So this FXX-K Evo has crazy aerodynamic elements, and these aero elements are not called wings, they're called dive planes. And remember where you learned it first, on KERS, India. Now this FXX-K Evo is a serious machine that deserves a lot of respect. So now let me show you the cockpit a little bit to explain you of the little stuff that I know. So this is the F1 style steering wheel of the FXX-K Evo, and you can see a lot of buttons and knobs which indicate a lot of things, but it's not very difficult to understand since it's all labeled. Now you have the traction control knob here with 1, 2, 3. You can just put, and 4 you use when you're in the wet mode. The suspension button is for bumpy tracks when you want to soften your suspension. Then you have the wiper which goes up and down. You have the scrolling button for the display in the front, and the pit button is basically when you are at high speed and you're coming back into the pit lane, you have to come to 60 kilometers per hour. That's what this button does. Most of the drivers don't really use it, is from what we understood, but it is always good to have that. Then there is the flash button for the flashes in the front. Then you have the indicator left and right. This also they hardly use because they're on the track and you don't really need indicators, but yeah, they don't really use that, but it's still there. Then you have the KERS button, which is also a very important one, which has 4 modes. KERS stands for Kinetic Energy Recovery System. It has a long run, qualifier, manual, and the fast charge.
And once you hit the blue buttons on either side, you get the crazy boost from the KERS system, which slingshots you to unfathomable speeds.
Okay, so as you see, you have a knob here. This is the first thing that you do is when you come into this car, you obviously switch it on. That's the ignition. And then you have the emergency button here. So anything goes wrong during your racing or when you are on the track, you hit that button. But similarly, you have something on the outside. If you are not able to do something from the inside, somebody can come and help you. They can actually do it from the outside. Now, this green light here stands for that the car is absolutely good to go and you're safe to drive it. If it wasn't safe, it would blink red, and then obviously we're not gonna go on any track. Now, these knobs are not very important, they're very minimalistic. They are to just navigate the screen here and the display here. We all assume that track cars don't have ACs, but that's not true. Now, since it gets very, very hot in this FXX-K Evo, this one actually has an AC installed. And as you can see, I am also wearing a suit, so it gets really hot in here. So the seat that I'm sitting in is obviously not made for me. It is customized for the actual driver of the FXX-K Evo. And it is customized and molded in a way that it is completely fitting his body structure. And also, which is very interesting to know, is you can't move the seat up or down or whatever. You cannot do any of that. But what you can do is you can definitely change the position of your pedals down there to your comfort and for your best driving position as you want by moving it forward or backward.
There is no cabin insulation to speak of. It's so loud inside the car that the driver and the passenger need a radio if they want to communicate with each other.
So this is the startup procedure for the FXX-K Evo, and I have this lovely Giovanni sitting next to us, who's a Ferrari expert, of course, and telling me how to do this. So let's see. First, you need to turn on the ignition switch, which is right here. You can see it, off to on. Let's do it. Only if Giovanni says so. Okay, and now it's turned on. Now the next step, Giovanni, please help. Push the brake. So the brakes feels a little harder than any normal brake, but yeah. And then? Okay, guys, now please hear the sound. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
When this car is started and you happen to be standing next to it, you really need to be physically and mentally prepared. Otherwise, it will blow you away. Well, there is a real risk of getting your eardrums blown. And trust me guys, these cars are so loud. Even the best audio equipment will do no justice to the sounds of these mean machines. I really wish each one of you get to experience this sound in real life. It is something else. This color is called the Giallo Triplo Strato. That's 3 layers: yellow, pearl and clear, which gives it this super shiny effect. This is the only XX car in this color, and not to be confused with Giallo Modena, which is a flat yellow. The Giallo Triplo Strato is so vibrant and it has an unmatched aura from any angle. When on track, it is simply unmissable. Bright, bold and mighty fast, of course. Do you see this no step sign? This is an ode to aircraft wings. If you don't believe me, next time you are in an airplane, do have a look yourself. Since the FXX-K Evo is a beast on track, you need to be able to apply a massive amount of brake pressure to slow down. The minimum number is said to be 100, and I got my chance to test out how much brake pressure I am capable of applying.
Guys, look at this one. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, 107, which is not bad at all.
In short, the Ferrari FXX-K Evo is a ludicrous aerodynamics lab on 4 wheels.
Now it's time to do the real stuff, and I am excited but also a little nervous because I did see someone actually puke yesterday, so I don't know how I'm going to feel, but let's hear it from the expert himself. Hi Andrea, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good, and I'm sure that you will have a great experience now. Be passenger on the FXX-K Evo. Actually, is one of the let's say best performance cars with an amazing power of 1,050 horsepower.
Wow.
What is the most impressive things usually on a car like this that is meant only to drive on track, only to use on track, is, in my opinion, the brake performance. The car is able to really slow down and enter in corners in very short space. Of course, if you match it with the G-forces and so with the grip that the car is able to offer to turn to the corner, and then you add with a strong acceleration, well, it makes the, let's say, the feelings really complete and super.
Okay, so should I be worried or what do you think?
No, absolutely not. The car is of course really safe, and the driver is also really good. Yeah, believe me. And yeah, anyway the situation you will go through is really amazing, because also Barcelona racetrack is one of the F1 track of the calendar, so is really, and is one of the best in my opinion. Very complete. You have fast corners, slow corners, a very long straight, so you will have really a full experience on it. Enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Andrea. I'm excited, and let's go get this done. My heart is racing already. Oh my gosh.
Ready?
Yes.
This was a pretty surreal experience being sat in the FXX-K Evo. As we started leaving the pit lane, I realized the magnanimity of the situation. 60 kilometers per hour came up in no time, and that's where it stayed, thanks to the pit limiter. The first lap was supposed to be a warm-up lap, and the moment we left the pits, I immediately started wondering what I had gotten myself into. If this was just a warm-up, then what was the full send going to be like? The acceleration was phenomenal, and the epic Ferrari V12 kept on giving more and more. But what you can never be prepared for is the braking. The braking was literally and figuratively mind-blowing. The deceleration is so brutal that I thought my eyes fell off their sockets. It was really that crazy. It is precisely for this reason and more that you need the Hans device, and I don't want to even imagine what would have been the state of my neck without the Hans device.
You need this kind of braking power though for a car that is capable of touching dizzying speeds within a few hundred meters. Every corner, every chicane flew by so quickly, I hardly had any time to process what was going on, and before I knew it, we were already on lap 2, going full throttle on the main straight. Our friend is a super talented driver and he effortlessly hit 280 kilometers per hour on the straight. It was now that I started to really panic. All I was seeing was this fast approaching barrier right in front of us. I am praying hard for him to hit the brakes, but he went going in deeper and deeper, and just when I thought we were surely hitting the barrier, he slammed the brakes so late and so hard and took that first corner. Holy moly, what braking power, what deceleration, and most importantly, such amazing car control. Trust me when I say this, none of my words here do justice to the real life experience. It is something one really needs to experience to believe.
Was something else. I can't talk, but this is better than I expected. Guys, you gotta see it for yourself. It's just amazing. Give me a moment. I need to calm down. So guys, I am back from oh my God, I can't even say how I feel today or right now after going on a ride like that. It was mind-blowing. I don't know what to say. I was in the seat sitting with the 6-point harness and I was just sitting there, like I couldn't move anywhere, and then I was just having my eyes on the road, and the driver asked me in between, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am absolutely fine, go ahead, I want to see more." And it was the best ever experience that I could get. Thank you so much again. I am very happy and privileged. And the most coolest thing in this entire ride that I had just now was the braking. It's something else, guys. It's insane. You will not understand unless you are sitting and riding.
I repeat, I literally feel like my eyes fell off. The feeling is insane, and for the first time ever, I know what the G-forces in a car feels like. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I still feel like I am moving. Wow! This car is fast. Really fast. Incredibly fast. So what is the Ferrari Corse Clienti really? Is it another supercar club? Is it about the money? Is it about the speed? For decades, supercar clubs have all been the same. But this, my friend, is different. This is a game changer, even amongst elite car clubs. This, my friend, is about pure passion and flair, and Ferrari's acknowledgement of that. Grazie ragazzi, grazie mille.
So we have come to the end of 2 amazing track days by Ferrari, and we're so happy that we could be part of this. And I can't even express in words how this feels like. And when I talked about emotion, this is what this is about. This is about passion, adrenaline. This is something that rushes through your body when you get out of the track bar. This is how I felt. And like I said, I really wish for every well-wisher and audience and the people that watch our show that you get to experience this at least once in your lifetime. And really, I have to also say thanks again to our friends to make this possible, and also a special thanks to Ferrari. Now stay tuned and keep watching our space, keep supporting us, keep following Targals India. Love and light from Barcelona.